Welcome to Rave and Rant, where we praise the praiseworthy and roast the rest. Each episode, we dive into reviews and tips on businesses, health, products, and services that matter to you. Now, let's meet our dynamic hosts. Julian, a seasoned entrepreneur and tech enthusiast who keeps you ahead of the curve. And Olivia, our health and wellness expert with unfiltered takes on the latest trends. Together, they'll help you navigate what's worth your time and what's not. So sit back, relax, and get ready for an episode packed with honest opinions and valuable insights. This is Rave and Rant.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise and get you straight to the insights.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're plunging into a world that's often seen as just a hobby.
Right.
But is rapidly transforming into a high-growth investment opportunity. NBA rookie cards in 2025.
It really is shifting.
And this isn't just about collecting. We're talking about what seemed like a perfect storm of structural shifts, creating some fascinating investment potential.
Yeah.
We've pulled out the most important nuggets of knowledge from a stack of sources, research, expert notes.
Yeah, synthesized quite a bit.
Consider this your shortcut to being well-informed on this incredibly dynamic market. So let's unpack this. What exactly is driving this projected surge in NBA rookie card values right now?
It's true. What we're seeing is far more than just typical hobby hype. If you look at the data, really, since 2020.
Okay.
Top-tier basketball rookie cards, you know, the PSA 10 graded slabs from brands like Prism, National Treasures, Flawless.
The big ones.
The big ones, yeah. They've consistently outperformed major financial indexes, including the S&P 500.
Wait, outperform the S&P?
Yeah. We're talking about annualized returns sometimes in the 20 to 30% range for those low-population, high-demand cards.
Wow.
And that's consistently reported by major auction houses like Golden, PWCC, and data platforms like Card Ladder.
So it's tracked data.
Exactly. And what's compelling here is that these aren't just, speculative fads. These are real asset movements.
That's a significant return. And what's interesting is that even after the market might cool from its absolute peak, the value seems to kind of sustain itself. Can you give us an example of that resilience?
Absolutely. Take the Luka Doncic 2018 National Treasures RPA. That's the rookie patch autograph.
Okay, watch it.
Serial number to 99 in a PSA 10 grade. That card initially sold for around $35,000 back in 2020.
Right.
Then it shot up to $95,000 during the 2021 playoffs. Big jump.
Huge jump.
But even today, after, some market adjustments, it still maintains over 2x growth from its original investment point.
So it held a lot of that gain.
It really demonstrates the sustained value, yeah, even beyond the peak hype.
That's a powerful illustration. Now, part of this new landscape seems totally unique to this generation of players. It's the NIL era, right? Name, image, likeness.
Exactly.
How is this impacting demand for their cards?
Yeah.
Even before they, fully prove themselves on the court?
Well, what's fascinating here is how quickly these players become a known quantity. They aren't just college athletes anymore. They enter the league as established personal brands.
Right, with sponsorships, social media.
Huge social media followings. A player like Cooper Flagg, for example, had over 500,000 followers before he even declared for the draft.
That's incredible.
And this pre-established visibility, it translates into earlier and much stronger demand for their cards, particularly those premium rookie autos and the serial numbered stuff.
So the market isn't waiting.
No, the market isn't waiting for them to prove themselves in the NBA to start investing. Their brand already exists, and that brand recognition translates directly to cardboard value. It's a different game now.
Okay, this next point sounds like it's going to be a huge, almost historical shift for the entire hobby. I've heard 2025 is shaping up to be historically significant for the card market, particularly with a major licensing shift happening. Can you explain what's going on with Panini and Topps this year and why it's such a big deal?
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting. You're absolutely right. 2025 marks a pivotal moment. It's Panini's last year holding the exclusive NBA license.
The end of an era for them.
Exactly. And simultaneously, it's the first year Topps, now under Fanatics, enters the market with their highly anticipated NBA Chrome line.
Topps Chrome NBA. Wow.
Right. So this creates this unique moment of historical scarcity. Hobby veterans, they understand that dual era cards, a player's final Panini rookie card and their very first Topps Chrome rookie card.
But for the same rookie year.
Exactly. They will be intensely chased for decades to come. It's kind of akin to those iconic once-in-a-generation opportunities, like collecting a 2003 Topps Chrome LeBron, or maybe a 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan. That level of significance.
So we've got these structural shifts, players coming in as established brands, and this massive licensing change. And it seems like technology is supercharging all of this, too.
Definitely.
We're hearing about vaulting services, fractional platforms, even blockchain-backed ownership. How are these digital platforms truly driving volume and attracting new capital?
Oh, these innovations are completely changing the game. Get this. Over 65% of all card transactions now happen online.
65%.
Yeah, that's up over 50% just since 2020.
That's fast growth.
It is. And technologies like vaulting services, where they securely store your physical cards but let you trade them digitally.
Probably heard of those.
And fractional platforms like Alt, where you can buy just a share of a high-value card. All of this reduces friction and increases liquidity significantly.
Makes it easier to get in, easier to trade.
Exactly. Plus, adding things like blockchain-backed proof of ownership brings a new layer of trust and transparency. It just makes the market more accessible, more efficient, and critically, it attracts significant new capital. People are starting to see this as a legitimate alternative asset class.
Okay, so we understand the big picture drivers.
Yeah.
But for someone listening who wants to move beyond just casual collecting and truly invest, what specific characteristics define a blue chip or investment grade rookie card? Because clearly this isn't about just pulling a random base rookie from a pack and, hoping for the best.
No, definitely not. And you've hit on maybe the most foundational element. Grading.
PSA, BGS, SGC.
Exactly. A raw rookie card, no matter how perfect it looks to your naked eye, is largely just noise in the market until it's professionally slabbed by one of those trusted companies.
Okay.
A PSA 10 card, for instance, can carry anywhere from, say, 3 to 10 times the value of its raw counterpart, sometimes even more.
3 to 10 times, just for the grade.
Yeah. Buyers trust the condition. The market establishes clear floor pricing based on that grade, and platforms let you filter by grade, making it much easier to buy and sell confidently. That grading premium isn't just cosmetic, it's foundational to establishing real market value and liquidity.
That's a huge delta in value. So beyond grading, what else is non-negotiable for an investment grade card? What else should you be looking for?
Scarcity. Scarcity is absolutely non-negotiable. You have to prioritize serial numbered cards.
The ones with the limited print run stamped on them.
Exactly. The 99, 49, 10, 5, or those ultra rare 11s. This is where the true value appreciation really occurs over time.
And what about RPAs? You mentioned those earlier.
Right, the Really Patch autographs. They're often considered the holy grail for modern collectors, especially those from the National Treasures set.
Why National Treasures specifically?
Well, they're extremely low print runs combined with that direct connection to the player. You get a piece of their game-worn patch, and their signature on the card makes them incredibly sought after and valuable.
So generally avoid base rookies for investing.
Generally, yes, unless it's a proven, truly historic card, like, say, a LeBron 2003 Topps Chrome and a PSA 10, or maybe if you're part of a very specific high-grade set registry strategy. Otherwise, focus on scarcity.
And the brand matters too, right?
Yeah.
Not all cards are created equal, even if they feature the same player. Is there a pecking order or a tier list of brands that new investors should know?
Absolutely. Cards from Panini's main lines, think Prism, National Treasures, and Flawless, consistently hold strong resale value.
Why those?
Because they're established, they're licensed, and they're widely recognized by the hobby as premium products. People trust them.
Right.
And starting in Q4 2025, you absolutely have to add Topps Chrome NBA to that list. Investors are definitely preparing for that launch. It will instantly become a top-tier brand.
And the flip side, unlicensed sets.
Yeah. On the flip side, cards from unlicensed sets like Leaf or Wild Card, while they might look flashy sometimes, they rarely hold even, say, 10% of the value of their licensed equivalents.
Why the big difference?
No official NBA logos, no team logos, less prestige, and crucially, just no consistent resale demand. Stick with the licensed stuff for investment.
That makes perfect sense. So it's not just about the numbers a player puts up on the court, is it? You hear people talk about narrative. How much does a player's off-court story or specific moments influence card value compared to just their raw statistics?
Oh, Player narrative multiplies value significantly, often more than just the raw box scores, actually.
Really? More than stats?
Yeah, think about it. Rookie card value spikes aren't always tied directly to points and rebounds over a season. They're often tied to those captivating moments.
Like what kind of moments?
You know, a huge playoff triple-double, a monstrous dunk over a superstar that goes viral, a game-winning shot on national TV, or even just a clip that floods Instagram and TikTok.
The viral moment?
Exactly. Cards move when the player becomes a story. It's almost like being a sports storyteller sometimes. You're not just looking at points and rebounds, you're looking for that viral dunk, that iconic pose, that unexpected playoff moment.
So you can anticipate some of this.
Well, that's why speculative buying ahead of big events like All-Star Weekend, Christmas Day games, or those major ESPN matchups can be highly profitable if you time it right. It's about anticipating the narrative spike.
That's a critical factor to consider. But this raises an important question. Even if a card is graded perfectly, it's rare, it's from a good brand, and the player has a great narrative, how many of these perfect cards are actually out there? Because if there are too many, even a great player's card might not hold value, right?
That's exactly right. And that's where population reports come in. They can reveal a critical trap for new investors.
Pop reports. How do you check those?
Before you even think about buying a specific graded rookie card, you must check the population report. You can use PSA's free pop report tool online or a platform like Card Letter. They tell you exactly how many PSA 10s, 9s, etc. of that specific card exist.
And why is that number so important?
Because the higher that population count, the weaker the long-term value potential will likely be. Supply and demand, right?
Makes sense.
We saw this painfully with Zion Williamson's PSA 10 Prism base rookie. It had over 20,000 slabbed copies graded PSA 10.
20,000. Wow.
Once, it was a $900 card at its peak. Now, it trades for under $90.
A 90% drop. Ouch.
Almost entirely due to overgrading and just massive oversupply. It's a stark reminder. Even a superstar's card can fall hard if the supply overwhelms the demand. Check those pop reports.
Okay, so this isn't your average top 10 list of players based on talent alone. It's really about understanding the market behavior behind the cardboard.
Exactly.
With all these factors in mind, grading, scarcity, brand narrative, pop reports, who should we be watching closely in 2025 and what's driving their card values from an investment perspective?
Right, so this list we've put together, it represents that crucial intersection of all those value drivers we talked about. Grading population trends, team dynamics, actual rookie performance data, social media buzz, and collector sentiment.
So not just talent picks.
No, these are players whose market trajectory offers something specific, maybe undervalued entry points, maybe low print scarcity, or maybe that cultural relevance that directly moves hobby dollars.
Got it. Let's start with Stephon Castle on the San Antonio Spurs. He's playing alongside Wembanyama, right? What's making his market move?
Yeah, Castle came into the league with a very mature defensive game, which is great, but it's really his late-season scoring improvement and, importantly, his feel for the game playing alongside Wemby that has truly ignited his card market.
So the fit matters?
Huge. He's already averaging over 14 points per game, clearly a playoff rotation player, and Spurs collectors are incredibly loyal, you know.
Okay.
His Prism Silver PSA 10 saw something like a 180% jump just between March and June of 2025.
Wow, quick rise.
Very. So the investor insight here is maybe target his low pop parallels now because upcoming playoff exposure will likely make those cards incredibly liquid and desirable. Get in before that next wave.
Makes sense. And what about Zachary Rissack? He was the #1 pick, went to the Atlanta Hawks. He's an international player. How does that factor into his card market?
Rissacker comes with that instant attention, obviously, being the #1 pick. But his international fan base, especially in France and just the broader European market, drives consistent demand for his cards, almost regardless of what's happening week to week domestically.
So a global floor almost?
Kind of, yeah. His Optic Hollow PSA 10, for example, doubled its April pricing, hitting around $1,200 in Q2. That global collector crossover is the real X factor.
So how do you play that as an investor?
Well, the play might be to accumulate his cards during any offensive slumps when prices might dip slightly.
Buy the dip.
Right. And then maybe strategically look to sell before major international tournaments like Euro Cup or when he plays for Team France because his profile tends to surge during those times.
Interesting angle. Now, beyond those highly touted names, what about the players that aren't screaming at you from social media every single day? Where's the smart money maybe hiding in plain sight this year?
Yeah, this is where experienced collectors often find value, looking for those inefficiencies in the market where hype hasn't caught up yet.
Okay, who fits that bill?
Two names that experts seem to be quietly accumulating are Jaylen Wells of the Memphis Grizzlies and Kel Ware.
Jaylen Wells. Tell me about him.
Wells wasn't a super hyped draft pick, right? And that's precisely why he works as an under-the-radar play. His card value actually doubled in Q2 after injuries opened up starting minutes for him, and he really capitalized with efficient scoring.
So opportunity met preparation.
Exactly. And here's the key. Because he wasn't printed in every single product line, his rookie card supply is inherently limited.
Lower supply built in.
Right. Lower pop counts, lower initial hype. That creates a potential hidden floor for value. Fewer chase buyers means potentially underpriced entry points right now.
So what's the strategy for Wells?
Smart investors might be accumulating his rare autos and SPs, those short prints with limited production before the preseason buzz starts. Maybe targeting things like Donruss Optic Gold or hollow variations under $200. And then looking to flip if he earns a solid role, maybe like a sixth-man scoring role, especially if another injury opens up minutes.
Got it. And what's the story with Kel Ware? That's a name I've heard whispered among some serious collectors, but he's not exactly a household name yet. What are they seeing?
Ware is kind of a classic late riser profile. He entered the draft with pretty modest buzz, but his play in Summer League and some early NBA camp reports have scouts suddenly projecting him as a legitimate rim protector, but also with surprising shooting upside for his size.
A modern big man.
Potentially.
Right.
And because the hype is lagging, his early release autos, maybe in less distributed sets like Panini Instant or something, are currently being overlooked by more casual fans.
So the pricing is inefficient.
Exactly. Pricing is likely inefficient right now. Serious investors might be tracking release calendars closely for his first real Prism Silver or Optic Hollow. Buying raw autos now, maybe under $50, with the aim to grade them and hold until, say, February, expecting a significant jump if he starts putting up consistent stat lines and earns rotation minutes. It's a projection play.
This all sounds great. Identifying players, understanding the market. But knowing when to buy seems absolutely critical. You said it can be the difference between doubling your money and, well, holding dead cardboard.
It really can.
So how do we time the market for maximum ROI in 2025? Is there a rhythm to it?
Yeah, timing is everything in the sports card world, maybe more than in traditional stocks sometimes. Smart investors, they really follow the market's emotional calendar, not just the NBA game schedule.
Emotional calendar. Explain that.
Yeah, rookie card values are driven by pretty predictable cycles, hype surges, narrative windows kicking in, and periods of buying fatigue. Understanding that cycle is key.
Okay, let's break down that calendar. Let's start with the off-season, roughly June through August. What's the strategy there? Is it a good time to buy?
Absolutely. This is your prime, deep value accumulation window. Think about it. Minimal media attention on rookies, no recent performance surges to drive up prices, and often a flush of inventory as early breakers or flippers dump cards from the initial draft hype.
So buyers are fatigued, prices cool off.
Exactly. Buyers are fatigued, prices cool significantly. This is your sweet spot for potentially scooping up those early Prism parallels, maybe some National Treasures RPAs if you can find them, or raw autos at maybe 20-40% discounts compared to their peak.
Any pro tips for hunting during the off-season?
Yeah, one pro tip. Filter eBay for newly listed auctions. You can sometimes snipe underpriced or even mislisted serial numbered cards from sellers who aren't paying close attention. Patience pays off here.
Okay, good tip. Then we move into preseason and media day. That's September to early October. What opportunities pop up then?
This is what I call the sneaky spike window. You get beat writer buzz coming out of training camps. You see footage, maybe those headlines like Player X added 15 pounds of muscle or Player Y has improved his jumper.
Right, the off-season hype pieces.
Exactly. And those can create quick, maybe 24, 48-hour price action windows, especially for cards that aren't the absolute top tier, like maybe Panini Instant Autos or Select SPs.
So how do you play that window?
It's actually a good time to potentially sell any fringe rookies you might be holding, ones riding purely on those media narratives before the real games start. It's a chance to trim the fat from your portfolio, maybe lock in small gains.
Gotcha. And then the season starts, the first 10 games, late October through November. This feels like a major moment for any rookie, right? High volatility.
Huge volatility. This is reaction FOMO territory. Fear of missing out.
Okay.
An early 20-point performance, maybe a highlight reel dunk that goes viral, that can send a player's Prism Silver PSA 10s soaring, like 2x to 4x, sometimes in just a week.
Wow. Any examples of that?
Oh, yeah. Think back to Tyrese Maxey's jump early in 2021, or Paolo Banchero's huge debut games in 2022-23, or even Wemby's first ESPN highlights cycle last year. It's all about those instant reactions from the market.
So you have to be ready to move fast.
You do. Tactical tip: set player alerts on platforms like eBay or Card Ladder. Be ready to potentially flip within minutes or hours of those breakout box scores or viral moments if that's your strategy.
Okay, fast forward to February. All-Star Weekend. That must be peak hype time, right? Is that a selling opportunity?
Absolutely. It's what I call peak hype compression. The national spotlight, the rookie showcases, they compress months of narrative into just a few days. Buyer behavior goes full retail, less price sensitivity, more emotional buying.
Even bench players get a bump.
Yeah, even guys just named to the Rising Stars Challenge can sometimes see like a 30-50% bump in their card values leading up to the weekend.
So what's the move?
The move is usually to list your key autos and PSA 10s maybe 10 to 14 days before All-Star Weekend. Sell into the anticipation, capture that pre-event buzz. Don't necessarily wait for the absolute peak during the event itself, as prices can sometimes drop right after.
It's the hype. Okay. What about after that, heading into March? Does the market pull back? Is there a buying opportunity then?
Often, yes. That's typically your correction window. The All-Star hype fades, collectors reassess their positions, maybe take profits. This is often your chance to buy back into players you still believe in long term, especially if their prices dipped during an injury or a slump.
So second chance to buy.
Exactly. You can revisit those underperforming, high-ceiling rookies, maybe snipe some graded slabs from sellers who got cold feet after the All-Star buzz wore off. If you missed a card back in October and still believe in the player, this is often your second chance to enter at a more reasonable price point.
And finally, the playoff buildup, March and April. What's the play there as the regular season winds down?
This is often the last really great sell window for players who are on contending teams heading into the playoffs. Investors who bought low during the offseason or mid-season dips will often look to exit as playoff seeding heats up and the narrative shifts to team success.
So sell players on good teams.
Generally, yeah, if you're looking to lock in profits before the playoffs start. Conversely, if your player's team isn't making the playoffs, expect their card values to potentially go pretty quiet dead money, maybe for several months until the next season's hype cycle begins.
So it's more of an exit window than an entry point.
Usually, yes. It's more of a volume play as buyers look for pre-playoff inventory.
Yeah.
It's not typically the time to enter a new position unless you're really prospecting for a truly massive, unexpected first-round series performance from a specific player.
Okay, that timing breakdown is super helpful. Now, beyond just what to buy and when to buy, the choice of where you buy the platform itself seems like it could be a strategic advantage too.
It absolutely is.
Where are smart investors actually buying rookie cards in 2025? Is it all just eBay?
No, not at all. Modern rookie card investors, the serious ones, they don't just eyeball listings on one site. They're evaluating trust, selection, pricing efficiency, and market behavior across multiple platforms.
Okay, so break it down for us. Where do you start? What about group breaks?
Right. For budget-friendly group breaks, which let you buy a spot in a box break for a specific team or player, giving you access to potentially high-end cards for as little as maybe $5 or $10.
Yeah, I've seen those.
TheBlez.com is often highlighted as a standout for that. It's ideal for targeting specific players or cards without having to buy an entire expensive hobby box yourself. Good entry point for some.
Okay. And the old standby, eBay. Still relevant.
Oh, absolutely. eBay remains the gold standard for overall market data and liquidity. It has unmatched search filters. You can see completed sales history, which is crucial for comps, comparing prices.
Right, the comps.
Yeah. It supports quick flips or those sniper auctions if you're looking for deals. It's still the biggest marketplace.
What about the really high-end stuff, like those six-figure cards?
For the true high-end, you're looking at auction houses like Golden Auctions. They provide elite-level authentication and credibility, which is essential for trophy RPAs, or those historically significant cards, like the transitional era Topps Chrome we talked about.
Downside to Golden.
Well, they tend to have lower seller fees, but sometimes steeper buyer premiums, so you need to factor that in. But for top-tier assets, their reputation is key.
Okay. What about platforms like PWCC and MySlabs? What are their strengths? Where do they fit in?
Now, PWCC offers a really data-rich vault model. They provide escrow services, secure vault storage for your graded cards, which makes trading easier.
So you don't have to ship the card every time.
Exactly. It's good for those medium-tier serial-numbered parallels and for tracking real pricing volatility using their market indices. Then you have MySlabs.
MySlabs, what's that?
It's more peer-curated, known for its very low fees, often just 1 to 2% compared to much higher fees elsewhere. There's community vetting. It's often ideal for finding those under-the-radar rookies or second-tier players, maybe some value buys that get overlooked on bigger platforms. Kind of a hidden gem for some collectors.
And for true insider access, where do the pros get their edge?
Yeah, for the real edge, you're looking at promotional channels from breakers or dealers, and especially private Discord groups.
Discord, like for gamers.
Yeah, but there are huge collector communities there too. They often provide early visibility into break leaks, maybe pre-grading flashes where people share potential gems before they're slabbed, and early spot pricing before cards even appear publicly on eBay.
So that's where the alpha is, potentially.
That's where some of the deepest, earliest market intelligence is often shared, yeah. How sharp investors might have gotten an early jump on certain picks before, say, August 2025 pricing reflected the buzz. It requires being networked in.
Fascinating. Okay, let's pivot back to the big picture for 2025. This year is truly pivotal, not just for this exciting rookie class, but because of what you called the most important licensing shift in modern basketball card history.
It really is.
Panini's reign ending, Topps under Fanatics taking over the NBA license. Can you just walk us through again what that actually means for collectors and the cards themselves?
Right, so think of it as Panini's last dance with the NBA. The 2024-25 season sets Prism, National Treasures, Flawless, Mosaic, all those staples will be the final NBA license sets from Panini, ever, based on current licensing. This makes the incoming 2025 draft class the very last Panini rookies ever produced with NBA logos.
That alone seems significant.
It is. Then, starting late 2025, likely Q4, Topps Chrome NBA will make its huge debut. Alongside that, you'll see other Topps brands like Topps Inception and Dynasty launching the first ever officially licensed Topps NBA rookie cards in decades.
A whole new era begins.
Exactly. It's the start of a new era, and it creates some incredibly unique collecting opportunities, especially for this specific rookie class caught in the middle.
And this creates that unique dual collectible window you mentioned for certain players. Remind us what that means and why it's so significant historically.
Exactly. So top players in this 2025 draft class, like Cooper Flagg, who's projected #1, or Dylan Harper, they'll have 2 distinct rookie card events within their actual rookie season.
2 events.
Yeah, they'll have their final Panini rookie cards released early in the season, and then their very first Topps NBA rookie cards released later in the season.
The Panini last and the Topps first.
Precisely. This dual status creates a truly unique, one-time historical significance for both sets of cards. It's kind of like that historical parallel people draw with Ken Griffey Jr.'s 1989 Upper Deck versus his 1989 Fleer card.
Right. Collectors value both.
Collectors assign value to both the firsts and the lasts, especially for iconic players. It creates 2 potentially highly desirable bookends to define that player's rookie year in cardboard history.
So beyond Flagg and Harper, who are some of the other top names in that 2025-26 rookie class that investors should be watching closely as this transition unfolds?
Yeah.
Who else gets this dual status?
Well, you're also watching guys like VJ Edgecombe, likely heading to a big market like the 76ers. If he gets an immediate rotation role, his Topps Chrome, Mosaic, Optic Parallels could move fast, especially if Philly contends.
Okay.
Then there's Ace Bailey, maybe going to the Jazz. His kind of explosive athleticism and scoring pop naturally make him a collector magnet. You'll want to monitor early game highlight cycles for potential auto flip windows for both his Panini and Topps cards.
Any international guys?
Yeah, look at Igor Demin, a tall Euro guard potentially landing with the Nets. He already has those Luka-lite comparisons buzzing.
High praise.
Very. International collectors are likely already aware. So targeting any underpriced National Treasures autos early or his first Topps Chrome autos later and grading them could be a smart, longer-term hold.
What about the specific sets to watch for during this transition year? Which ones are going to carry the most weight for investors in both the Panini finale and the Topps debut?
Okay, key sets. First, Panini National Treasures, likely releasing Q2 2025. This will be monumental. It's the final Panini NT for NBA. Those RPAs will instantly become legacy products. Huge demand expected.
The last NT RPAs.
Got it. Then, the big one. Topps Chrome NBA debut, probably Q4 2025. This will be a seismic moment for the hobby. Expect massive global demand, especially for its color parallels and refractors. Think Prism Silver hype, but potentially even bigger because it's the first.
Okay, Topps Chrome is huge. What else from Topps early on?
Following that, likely in Q1 2026, you'll see Topps Inception and Topps Dynasty NBA. These will introduce the premium Topps experience, low-numbered patch autos, on-card signatures, competing directly with NT and Flawless.
And what about Panini Prism? Its last run.
Yes, don't forget Panini Prism Basketball, likely Q3 2025. It'll be the last full Prism run with the NBA license. Expect loyalists and investors to chase those end-of-an-era parallels, especially silvers, golds, and low-pop color. It'll have its own historical significance.
So to profit from all this, what's the core strategy for navigating this really unprecedented transition year? It sounds complex.
It is unique, but the core strategy for top stars like Flagg, Harper, Bailey, the potentially generational guys, the smart play might be to try and acquire both bookends.
The final Panini RC and the first Topps Chrome RC.
Exactly. Capture both moments. But, and this is crucial due to the expected print run explosion as a Topps enters the market aiming to make a splash.
Right. They'll likely print a lot.
They likely will. So you absolutely must chase low pop only. Focus on autographs, serial numbered cards, and graded slabs, especially PSA 10s or BGS 9.5s. Base cards will likely be massively overproduced from both companies.
So scarcity becomes even more important.
Paramount. And you need to rigorously follow those release calendars, especially for Topps Chrome and National Treasures. Know when things are dropping.
Any bold predictions for that first Topps Chrome release?
Well, here's one. My prediction is that Cooper Flagg's first Topps Chrome Gold Refractor, numbered 50, in a PSA 10 holder. That card will likely be the most chased rookie card since maybe Zion's 2019 Prism Silver, possibly even bigger given the context. It's going to be a frenzy.
Wow. Okay, this really sounds like moving beyond casual collecting into disciplined alternative asset investing.
It is, if you want to be successful long term.
So what's the pro collector strategy? What's the behavioral checklist you need for success in 2025 NBA rookie card investing, especially with all this complexity?
Yeah, it absolutely comes down to discipline and managing your own psychology. First, start with grading discipline. We touched on this, but it bears repeating. Raw cards are speculative gambles unless you're an expert grader yourself.
Check everything closely.
You must check corners, edges, surface, and centering, preferably under magnification, before buying raw with intent to grade. And when buying graded, target PSA 10, BGS 9.5, or maybe SGC 10. Anything else is often just liquidity dead weight for investment purposes.
That Risser example comes to mind.
Exactly. That Prism Gold 10 PSA 10 of Resacker might fetch $3,000 plus eager, while the same card raw could be just $800 or even less if flawed. The premium for perfection is immense and justifies the effort or cost.
Okay, grading discipline first. What's next?
Focus on the right types of cards. We said it before. Focus on serial numbered cards, autographs, especially on card, and rookie patch autographs.
Not base cards.
Base cards are basically lottery tickets with very short expiration dates in today's market. Long-term sustainable value is found in that proven scarcity serial numbers, autos, patches, especially from those premium sets like National Treasures, Flawless, and soon Topps Dynasty. Those are the cards that tend to weather market fluctuations best.
And avoiding that overproduction trap, especially with Topps coming in, how crucial is that?
It's absolutely crucial this year. As Topps enters, expect a flood of product across more brands than ever. Don't just buy the hype of a new release.
Be selective.
Very selective. Avoid base rookies unless they are PSA 10 and maybe from an ultra-low pop parallel set. And you need to track those grading population reports weekly, especially for key cards like Prism Silver or Topps Chrome Refractors. If you see that pop count climbing fast week after week, that price floor can vanish just as quickly. Remember Zion. Supply is a killer for base card value.
Got it. Track the pop reports relentlessly. And it's about tracking the player's story, not just their statistics, right?
Exactly. We keep coming back to this because it's so important. Card spikes often come from moments, not just consistent box scores. A single highlight dunk in a primetime game can move a card more than 3 solid 15.8 rebound nights.
So what should you track?
Pros track everything that builds narrative, ESPN coverage, SportsCenter highlights, social media virality. TikTok and X Twitter are huge. Rotation changes announced by coaches, injuries to teammates that open up opportunities, even trade speculation.
Jaylen Wells example again.
Perfect use case. His auto doubling overnight after a game-winning 3 on ESPN. Buyers weren't hunting his season averages. They were responding instantly to that story, that moment. That's what drives short-term surges you can potentially capitalize on.
You mentioned rotating marketplaces earlier. Can you give us just a quick recap of where smart collectors are buying and why? Use the right tool for the job.
Precisely. Use the right platform for your specific goal. So quickly, theblez.com is excellent for budget-friendly group breaks, helping you target specific players affordably. eBay is still the king for market data, liquidity, checking comps, and quick flips. Golden Auctions is your trusted source for elite, authenticated, high-end cards.
Right.
PWCC offers that data-rich vault model, great for mid-tier serial-numbered stuff and tracking market trends. And My Slabs is fantastic for finding potentially undervalued, pure curated buys with those super low fees. Smart collectors don't rely on just one, they leverage the strengths of each.
Makes sense. Anything else on the pro checklist?
Yeah, 2 more quick ones. First, stack positions intentionally. Pros tend to stack conviction positions rather than just dabbling with one card here, one card there.
What does stacking mean?
It means if you believe in a player, maybe aim for 3 to 5 key cards minimum. Perhaps diversify your exposure across sets like maybe 1 NT RPA, 2 Prism Silvers, 2 Optic Autos. And consider having a mix of graded and raw cards for flexibility in selling or grading later. It shows conviction.
Okay, build a position. And the last one?
Exit on emotion. Not necessarily trying to pinpoint the absolute peak. Don't get greedy trying to time the exact top, which is almost impossible. Instead, sell into market emotion.
When the market is loudest.
Exactly. Sell into that all-star buzz, the playoff hype building, those post-highlight surges, even strong trade rumors. Sell when the market is loud and buyers are emotional, not necessarily when the chart looks perfect.
Yeah.
That often means leaving a little theoretical money on the table, but locking in solid profits consistently.
Great advice. So to summarize for you, the listener, what are the key actions to take away from this deep dive into the 2025 NBA rookie card market? Give us the bullet points.
Okay, key actions. First, buy only PSA, BGS, or SGC graded cards unless you are grading them yourself and truly know what you're doing with condition.
Got it.
Second, always prioritize serial numbered cards, patch autos, and on-card autographs over base. Scarcity wins.
Scarcity wins.
Third, before you enter any position, track those population reports using PSA or Card Ladder. They are your best friend against overpaying.
Check the pops.
Fourth, consider using theblez.com for group breaks to target specific players at a potentially lower entry cost.
Okay.
Fifth, use eBay for volume comps, tracking prices, and for quick flips if that's your game.
Use eBay strategically.
Sixth, and this is critical, sell into the hype, not after it peaks and starts to fade. Be proactive.
To sell into strength.
Seventh, never, ever hoard base rookies expecting miracles, especially with production likely increasing. It rarely ends well.
Void base.
Eighth, diversify your investments across different players, teams, and card sets to mitigate risk.
Diversify.
And finally, maybe the most important mindset piece. Don't fall in love with the card itself. Fall in love with the investment position and your strategy. That objectivity is absolutely key to long-term success in this market.
Fall in love with the position, not the card. I like that. What an incredible deep dive into the just fascinating world of NBA rookie card investing in 2025. We've covered so much ground.
We really did.
From the big structural shifts driving this market, the licensing changes, the player narratives, down to the precise moments and platforms to hopefully maximize your ROI. You know, sometimes I wish I had a crystal ball for these things, seeing which cards are going to skyrocket. It's tempting.
We all do.
But with all these market shifts and player narratives swirling around this unique 2025 season of the 2025-26 class, I'm left wondering, and this is for you listening, what new moments or stories do you think will unexpectedly move the needle for rookie card values in the coming year, beyond just the obvious on-court performance? What's the next narrative driver we haven't even seen yet? Something to think about.
That's a wrap for this episode of Rave and Rant. We hope you found our insights helpful and thought-provoking. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss out on our latest reviews and tips. If you enjoyed the show, please leave us a rating and review. It really helps us reach more listeners like you. Have a topic you'd like us to cover or something you want us to rave or rant about? Connect with us on social media or visit our website to share your suggestions. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, keep exploring what's worth your time and what's not. This is Rave and Rant, where we praise the praiseworthy and roast the rest.